Not every tragedy is born from evil. Some are born from carelessness. Three siblings were walking to school in San Diego when a driver struck them, killing one and leaving two hospitalized. It's a story that reminds us how fragile life is and how a moment's impatience behind the wheel can destroy an entire family. Welcome to Whispers of the Taken, where every mystery is a voice lost in the shadows. This video is based on public information and falls under fair use. Like, subscribe, and comment. Even the quietest voice can echo the loudest truth. A city in mourning, the tragedy on Jackson Drive. Monday morning, October 20th, 2025. The sun had just started to rise over the quiet neighborhood of San Carlos in San Diego. Families were getting ready for another school day. Coffee brewing, backpacks zipping, kids hurrying out the door. It was supposed to be an ordinary morning, a normal day. But before the bell even rang at Pershing Middle School, everything changed. Three siblings and two girls and their brother were walking to school, crossing Jackson Drive near Lake Baden Avenue. It's a busy stretch of road, but they'd crossed it 100 times before. This time, though, they wouldn't make it to the other side. A car came down that road and hit all three of them. Witnesses say it all happened in seconds. The screech of tires, the sound of impact, the screams that followed. And in those few seconds, a family's life shattered forever. 12-year-old Andrew Olsen was killed. His two sisters were rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. The driver stopped and tried to help. He wasn't drunk, he wasn't high. Police later said speed and impairment weren't factors, but that doesn't make this story any less heartbreaking. Because whether or not he was technically speeding, a child still died. Two others are still healing, and a neighborhood is left wondering, how could this happen here again? You see, this isn't an isolated story. This isn't some rare, tragic accident. It's part of something much bigger, something we see every single day. Everywhere you go, people drive like they're the only ones on the road. We cut corners, we roll through stop signs, we stare at our phones for just a second. We tailgate, we weave through traffic, we get angry if the car in front of us doesn't go fast enough. Everyone's in a hurry, to work, to school, to get coffee. Always rushing, always impatient. And then something like this happens. Three kids walking to school, a driver not paying enough attention, and suddenly lives are destroyed. It's easy to think, well, it wasn't intentional. Of course it wasn't. Nobody wakes up planning to hit a child on their way to school, but that's what makes it so terrifying, because that's the point. It happens because we're careless. It happens because we're always in a rush. It happens because somewhere along the way, driving stopped being about safety and became about convenience. We treat the gas pedal like a competition. We treat red lights like suggestions. And we treat everyone else's life like it's just background noise to our own schedule. Andrew Olsen didn't make it to school that morning. He'll never come home again. He'll never play or laugh or grow up. His sisters will live with the memory of that moment forever. The sound, the fear, the loss. His parents will live with an empty seat at the dinner table, a room that will never feel the same, and a question that no answer could ever make right. Why did this have to happen to our boy? It's easy to offer thoughts and prayers, to light candles and bring flowers. And for a little while, people do. The community comes together, tears are shed, promises are made. We'll be more careful, we'll drive slower, we'll pay attention. But then what happens? A week passes, the story fades from the news. People get back in their cars, back on their phones, back to rushing through yellow lights and ignoring the speed limit because they're late. And somewhere down the line, it happens again. Another street, another family, another tragedy that could have been prevented. When did we stop caring about each other on the road? When did we decide that shaving 30 seconds off a drive was more important than a child's life? We live in a time where cars have lane assist, automatic braking, blind spot detection. But none of that matters if the person behind the wheel has forgotten what it means to be human. Because no amount of technology can fix selfishness. No safety feature can make up for impatience. And no headline, no news story, no police report will ever bring back the child who never got to grow up because someone couldn't slow down. Andrew's name should never have been on the evening news. He should have been in class that day, probably bored, doodling on his notebook, thinking about lunch or soccer practice. He should have come home that afternoon to his family, to laughter, to normal life. But he didn't, because someone didn't stop in time. One moment, one mistake, one child gone. And what hurts the most is knowing this won't be the last time we hear a story like this. It's going to happen again, because too many people think it could never be them. They think, I'm a good driver. I'd never do that, but so did the person who hit those kids. So did every driver who's ever said, I only looked down for a second. A second is all it takes. We say things like, accidents happen. But accidents don't just happen. They're caused by choices, by distractions, by impatience, by people who forget that behind every crosswalk is someone's child, someone's heart, someone who just wants to get home safe. This story, the Olsen family's story, should wake people up. But if history tells us anything, it won't, because we've become numb, desensitized. We see tragedy after tragedy and scroll past it like it's just another headline. But this isn't just another headline. This is a child, a brother, a life that should still be here. Maybe someday we'll learn. Maybe someday we'll care more about safety than convenience. Maybe someday stories like this won't happen anymore. But until that day comes, all we can do is remember Andrew Olsen. Remember the way this community came together. Remember the heartbreak that rippled through San Diego and the silence that followed. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you're behind the wheel, you'll think about him. You'll think about what a single second can take away, and you'll slow down, because no one should ever have to bury their child because someone was in too much of a hurry. When will enough finally be enough?